Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back, this time with Gruul Eldrazi Ramp, wanting to just try something a little bit different, running good old Aragast Ignoble Hierarch. Interesting, not a card I've seen in a hot minute. We'll go Eldrazi Temple and pass. And this is a kicked turn 3 Myco spawn. I think we will be able to turn 4 Emrakul question mark? No, we need a second red source. Grist, okay. Huh, could be Yogg, I suppose. Well, there's a Sanctum, funny enough. And pass. So we go Sanctum. Try to think here. Regardless, we have a kicked Myco spawn. So we go kicked Myco spawn, red source, play Sanctum. I mean, yeah, we could Aragast into an Emrakul. That is a genuine option. It is Yagmoth, as we anticipated. Question is, do they play Agatha's Soul Cauldron? If so, then we might need to clear their yard. Hipatro, well, that's concerning. Underground Mort. I guess the other concerning part is the fact that it's likely that they might just minus Grist to get rid of the Myco spawn. Draw. Rumble. Well, let's start off by kicking Myco spawn and attempt to slow him down a bit. We'll get rid of the Underground Mort. That way they can't actually generate black. If Myco spawn survives, a commercial district would get us to Aragast in the Emrakul. That's a thought. That's commercial districts. Otherwise, we have more kicked Myco spawns where that came from. We'll keep the Devourer on top and pass. But I imagine they'll tick down Grist. At the same time, do they need to? Okay, so I was right. Let's see, we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 minus 4 would be 4, so can't kick Myco spawn and... Well, actually... we could kick the Myco spawn and Aragast into Emrakul. Yes. I guess you could put a -1/-1 counter on the insect to create an insect. It's a May ability, so I doubt that you don't need to do anything. No point in it. Why the Ignoble Hierarch over Delighted Halfling, I wonder? What's the benefit there? Especially if Bowmaster being back in Murktide. So this is Yagmoth. So yeah, we can kick a Myco spawn, goes 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8... leaving 4. However, there's only 2 types in yard at that point. So we want to be able to kick. But what I could simply do is just cast. That would leave 6. And that would go 6 to 2, 4. Yes, we can. So in Myco Spawn. So it's a turn 4 Emrakul. What? Why you float black? What? Bowmaster. That's fine. I am confused, but sure. Grab temp. Emerge. Sack. We will not use Airghast ability. No. Yes. Emrakul. Sacrifice. Pay 2. Our turn, comrade. So now we can sacrifice one of their creatures and destroy their own Urghast, attack another creature into the Emrakul. And probably kill the sacrifice the Hapatra. Yeah. Oh, you have a Yagmoth in there too, and 2 ballistas? Well. We can do a lot here. So we'll draw. Wastewood Verge. It can't generate black. Why do you have so many Verge lands? I feel like that's a bit of a mistake, no? So I can cast Ballista. X equals 1. Yeah. Going to remove a counter targeting Bowmaster. I'm going to sacrifice a creature. Yes. I'm going to sacrifice a Patra. Target Grist. So Grist dies to itself. I could play the Verge and then Walking Ballista targeting the Orc or the Hierarch. That's a thought, I suppose, but is it a good one? Not really, and besides, opponent will scoop. And we'll go to game 2. So for this matchup, we have Soulish Jailer. The question then becomes, do we want to remove return for that? World Breaker is not as necessary. We have 5, 8, 11, right? Yeah, we have 11. So we could cut 2. Got like a Breaker and a Devourer maybe. That allows us to, let's see. Ghost Quarter's not doing much either. We could retain the returns. Is return better than Dismember in this matchup? I'd say Dismember is probably better. So maybe we keep the Devourer and drop the Breaker. The Jukabog's relevant. Gemstone's good. Yeah, so I think we keep like this then. Yeah, so that makes sense to me. I don't think Stonebrain's all too great in this matchup, so I think Dismember Jailer should be enough. We mulligan this. Gemstone Caverns, good. We can keep this. We'll pitch a Stomping Grounds. Done. I mean, I want to go Gemstone Temple Talisman, so I think we will exile the Stomping Grounds and then pass. Of course, if they play a Mana Dork, then we'll probably just command X1. Bring a Catacombs fetch for Overgrown Tomb Shock and Hierarch. Young Wolf. Not hard pressed on exiling that right away. Of course, we find ourselves with a Sprawl, but I think we go Temple, Talisman of Impulse, and pass. As I said, not too worried about the Young Wolf just yet. Next turn we can command X2. Green, double green for Geist. Attack in for 3. So yeah, we definitely need to deal with at least one of these or get a Jailer on board, most likely. Double Sprawl, well, that's just rude. I mean, we could also just scry draw, depending. If I were to do so, I'm tempted to do so now, though, in case we find ourselves wanting a land. Because we can push ourselves up to 6. Interesting, interesting, interesting. They can't get the Yogg yet. Let's scry draw, see if we find ourselves a land. It's a bit aggressive, I'll admit. Well, I suppose this does kind of work. So top and imprint and pass. So next turn we'll be able to cast Devourer. At least get rid of a Undying Creature. 2, 3 for Grist. Fulminator Mage. What do you target, Fulminator Mage? 2, 4, 5, 6. Will be one short of the Devourer now, unless they target the Ugin's Lab. Yeah, that's the right choice, as much as I hate to admit it. So now we're short 1. Well, that's a problem. I knew Fulminator Mage was likely going to be here, but was hoping that we wouldn't see it there. We'll draw. Confirming for 6, we'll pass. Now we need a land off top. Oof. I mean, if they have the Yogg on curve, they more or less win. Do you have another Fulminator? That's just rude. Target the gemstone, I suppose? Or target the lab. Same difference, really. I will return, and I'll pass. I suppose the benefit here is we can still cast Chrysalis if we draw it, whereas if they had gone after the gemstone, you wouldn't have. Draw, Sanctum, pass. They've been missing their land drops for what it's worth. And draw. Given the Ballista, I'm led to believe that this is in fact an Agatha Soul Cauldron build. So I do need to be mindful of that fact with those Fulminator Mages in the yard. Young Wolf, they have 3 now. That's a bit concerning. Waller Roots. If they have... Excuse me. Court of Calling. They could win next turn. Draw land? No. Shoot. We'll be at 4 next turn. Like I said, they have Court of Calling. They more or less win. Fetch. Swamp. Yeah, the Yogg. Yeah, the Fulminator Mages really hurt. There's the Court of Calling as expected. Let's just see him get it. This way they can hold up a bit of mana. Because now they can hold up, what, 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. That way they just, once again, try and draw into either Court of Calling or... Yeah, we'll just concede. No reason to proceed that any further. Let's move to game 3. Just 1 turn too slow. I'll bring back in the Ghost Quarters and cut the Gemstone Cavern and run it back. On the play for game 3, I will keep what say you, opponent? I think we have Dismember in case they play a Dork on 1. Ugin Lab. Imprint. Cast. And pass. And hold. Forest. For Delighted Halfling, put a pause on end step. Dismember. And draw. Another Dismember reload to see it. I'll play a Forest for a Malevolent Rumble. Another Airghast. Well, I might as well. And hold up the ability to respond with another Dismember in hand. We need to draw into some action. Right now we're at 5, going on to 6. Waller Roots, Dredger's Insight. That will resolve. I don't foresee being able to play anything, so we'll just pass in full. Grab Grist. There's Grist, gain a life. Draw. 5, 7. Is there a point in playing the temple right now, though? No. So we'll go Stomping Grounds tapped and pass. Hold up the Dismember. I guess the one benefit of playing the temples, we draw into another temple, we could have then played Airghast. So give and take there, I suppose. Given that they didn't take a land, they have a land drop for turn 3. And then, of course, have Grist as their turn 3 play. And there's Meyer, Takanuma for Grist. Grist will plus. And draw. Soulish Jailer, eh? I might as well play the Jailer. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or one short of playing Airghast. I do wonder if dismembering the insect token would be wise. Because then Airghast only costs 7 if we sacrifice the Jailer, theoretically speaking, but I think we need to hold the Dismember for a better target. Verdant Catacombs. All we need is a land. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Okay. Right now, all you have is the Lighted Halfling. Yes. In response, I'm going to dismember that. I'm suspicious of your reasoning. Enough said. Like, I just can't trust that was done for any good reason. Judge's Insight will trigger. Because this cuts you off of Fulminator Mage now. Overgrown Tomb Shock for Young Wolf. Do you minus Grist? Yes, targeting what? The Jailer is the right choice. Funny enough, Young Wolf cannot come back. Jailer down. And now we need a land or something to sacrifice. And pass. And draw. Cast Airghast. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will exile my non-existent hand. Yes. There's the Devourer. We could devour the Grist. Actually, we can't. So we'll, at this point, pass. Next, we can play Sanctum of Ugin. We'll pass. So next turn, we potentially have an Emrakul. You can play the Devourer, trigger the Sanctum, and I think at that point, emerge Emrakul. There's GSC for 1. Could be a Young Wolf. Is a Young Wolf. They could minus Grist. Young Wolf will come back with a counter. They'll then get Grist underneath Agatha Soul Cauldron. So Airghast down. We'll exile the Young Wolf. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. Treasurer's Insight. would you not take up Yagmoth? There we go, I was about to say. Underground Mort. Mort. And draw. Sowing Myco. So I could very well play Sowing Myco spawn. 1, 2, 3. So yes, I could Sowing Myco spawn, return Aragast, Emrakul, slam Yagmoth. Does that do enough though? Actually, I think that might be the better play. So yes, Sanctum of Ugin. Confirming real quick. 2, 3, 4, leaving back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Return. Yes. So I'm going to return this first. Does mean that we get rid of our Devourer, which kind of sucks. But it should be okay. The Seiju will not save you here. I guess it will if you hit the Sanctum of Ugin. Beseiju will not work the way you want it to. Oh, we can just flip the 2. That's fine. You made my Emrakul cheaper. Thank you. Do we want to set up for next draw? Doesn't matter, does it? So we'll just go Forest. Yes. Cast. Let me confirm something here. Could I just go all out 6? Yeah, I think I could kick it, can't I? Because then I get a soul land. And we'll get rid of a tomb. In fact, what I can do is grab an Ugin's Lab, imprint the Devourer, emerge the Sowing Myco spawn, trigger, yes, search for Emrakul, merge Emrakul from Aragast, our turn, comrade. A GSC, and a Pick Your Poison. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact, So we can do a couple things here. Main, let's see. I mean, we don't really want to exile anything from Yard. I guess we could exile a Yagmoth out for what it's worth. So I guess we could also... Oh, that's actually fun. I can tap this for mana and GSC for 4. Yeah, or for 3 rather. Oh, I can't do it that way. I need to do colorless. So if I GSC... Actually, let me read Fulminator Mage. Hold up. I need to read Fulminator Mage. Make sure it doesn't say target opponent. Fulminator. Sacrifice target non-basic land. Perfect. And I just want to hold up a green source. Try to pick your poison. Done. Yes. Well, I guess maybe I don't, do I? Maybe I don't, because then they're just going to Agatha Soul Cauldron it, won't they? Well, I guess I could just kind of start popping their own lands then. Yeah, maybe that's not a bad idea. Let me go Fulminator Mage, pop 1, 2, 3. Oh, it has to be green, doesn't it? Soul Steeper. Interesting. That's right, never mind. We can't grab that. I forgot. It's only green cards. It's not a Court of Calling. At least we get to take a look at our opponent's deck. Yeah, not really too much that we want to grab here. So I'd say just done. Cast Pick Your Poison. Cast sacrifice an enchantment of my choosing. I don't have any enchantments. And at that point... Oh, I can't minus it, can I? Oh. I forgot about that. It doesn't have enough counters. Whoops. Did miss that, didn't I? I should have grabbed Grist then. No point in plussing in that case. Bit of a misplay on my part. Oops. Aggie, exile, I guess. Young Wolf for what it's worth. No. Oh, I forgot that he needed more loyalty. I think I got mixed up with the counters and whatnot. That's rough. Not the end of the world, but annoying. Because now I guess they can't minus either, for what it's worth. Okay, never mind. We're fine. Yeah, we're good. But what I should have done is attacked him with the Young Wolf. So, mistakes were made. They found the Grist anyways. Yeah, I guess I could have still grabbed the Grist, sacrificed the Young Wolf, destroyed their own Grist, yeah. That's funny, though, that they found that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need a land if we were to go command plus. But yeah, had I gone Grist. What'd you just grab? Oh, Emrakul. That's fine. That really doesn't do anything, so. Attack for 4. Well, I guess it also does deal me damage for what it's worth. Yeah, maybe should have grabbed Grist. Sacrifice target self. Land, perfect. No imprint. Utopia Sprawl. Forest for red. So what I'll do now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can exile you. Let me have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Done. Wolf is down. And then Grist will be down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And target Grist. And then next turn we can always cast another Devourer. Opponent did miss the ability to tick up on their Young Wolf as Grist. What you draw into? 4. 4. GSC X3 for a Grist. That'd be my initial thought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if they do that, they can plus, but then we'll just exile the Grist. Oh, well, no. Because then they can Aggie, Yogg on... Yes. Not the biggest deal in the world right now. Plus... Bauble. Why Bauble? Oh, I guess that way we wouldn't be able to cast the Emrakul for free? Question mark? Exile the Grist. And then go to combat. I'll attack. They'll block, they'll sack, they'll shrink. Benefit here of having this token is that they can manage my attackers pretty well. Yeah, they should sacrifice Shrink the Devourer, the one not attacking. Or the one that's attacking, that's fine too. I mean, the other one can be used as a blocker. Because now this one insect alone can make another insect. And then can, again, sacrifice it as a blocker. So I need something here. And Agatha's Soul Cauldron, the insect, makes another insect. And they're in a good position right now is the problem. A good moment where... Oh, Fulminator Mage too, Jesus. Not like the end of the world. Good reason not to have played my Eldrazi Temple. Fulminator Mage takes out a land. You can Agatha Soul Cauldron, target it now, target the insect can tick up. This is gaining new life all the while as well, so you're kind of just grinding out value. So the best thing for me here would be an Emrakul off the top. Malevolent Rumble would be good. Kozilek's Command would be good. But now they have enough blockers to really, like I said, they can continue to manage my field. Draw. There's a Devourer. So yes, what we'll do is we'll go in for attacks. See if they do what I hope they do, which is block with 2. There's one. They don't block with the other, though. They'll sacrifice it to the Yogg ability, shrinking my unblocked Devourer. This way they only take 4. We'll go to damage to 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're just going to cast Devourer then. We'll get rid of the one with 2 loyalty counters. Of course, they'll either sacrifice it to draw a card, or they will sacrifice it as Fulminator Mage. But I think it's smarter for them to draw a card here. As long as I continue to apply pressure to the board, we're in a decent position. But we do need to make progress at some point. Destroying a land is fine. Like I said, there's a reason why I'm sitting on the Eldrazi temp. Misty Rainforest for an Underground Mort. And pass. Yeah, I do wonder how things would have changed if I would have, with GSE, grabbed the Grist as I had considered. Dina. Whenever you gain life, opponent loses 1 life. I see. There's a Hippotra. They'll gain life, I'll lose a life. That is a bit troublesome, I will admit. Yep, down to 6. Now you can trigger that again for another insect token. Again, probably our best case scenario here is to draw into an Emrakul. Opponent's also pressed for time. They can't take too long to think this through, unless they're convinced that this line will win. Proliferate. They can minus the insect token now and sacrifice something to kill the Devourer, I suppose. Ignoble Hierarch. That would allow them to attack for 2, but that's not what happens. Draw. Chrysalis. I mean, I'd have 3 blockers. I mean, I can't exactly not do anything. The thing is, they're not exactly in a position where they need to block. either, which is the problem. Right? So is it better for me to just hold back? With Chrysalis, I'll have 3 blockers. They can plus, then minus. So they can take off 1, at the very least. Yeah, so they can take out 1 blocker. So let's attack in with these 2 then. Interesting. Down to 12. I'll cast the Chrysalis. And pass in full. Actually, in retrospect, I should hold the ability to respawn in case they target the spawns with Yagmoth's ability. The way they might win, no, they only have 3 creatures. They can push it up to 5 creatures in Yard. Strangleroot. Yes, that resolves. Down to 5 now. Can they proliferate enough? But they have to pitch cards, don't they? Yes, discard a card to proliferate. Yes, that resolves. I think they lose to time here. I think they have the win theoretically, but I think they just don't have enough. Yes. And that there is the game. Yes. Alright, we'll take the win. Definitely did misplay a little bit, but we ended up getting there in the end. With that said, we'll be back for match 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2 on the draw for game 1. I will keep looking for a green source here, or a talisman. No, talisman, I guess talisman would still be okay actually. We'll pass. And talisman would be fine. Trigger. I mean, talisman lets me play Writhing Chris on 2, Rumble on 2, so yes, we'll go talisman. Ugin Lab. Imprint. Cast talisman. And pass. Yeah, I'm a bit afraid that this is Storm. So how do we proceed here? Artist talent, sure enough. Draw. So I have a thought. If we Cavernous Souls, go Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Do we cast the Myco Spawn and try and high roll into an Aragast? Because then we had 5, 6, sack 2. I'd leave 2. Yes, that would be enough, wouldn't it? Because 5, 6, 2. Yes. Okay. So I think we need to just high roll. So name Eldrazi. Sowing Mycospawn. This also banks on them just not winning here, right? Grab Sanctum of Ugin. And pass. Because of course it's possible they just win here on the spot on turn 3. There's Medallion. So unless they have land into Ritual, okay. Ghost Quarter, that will not cut it. Malevolent Rumble? I swear. In that case, we'll grab Lab. Play Ghost Quarter. And go to combat. And let's see if they have it. There's a Strike It Rich. It's possible that they're looking for impulse draws, rituals, etc. There's a land. Is that what they needed, though? Glimpse. Three cards in exile. Manamorphose. So they now can play both Ren's Resolves. Pitches a Ral. Surprised they're pitching the Ral. Plays Ren's Resolve. Pitches Mire. There's a Ritual. They might just end up going off regardless. Pitches a Wish, really. So I feel like they must have a Past in Flames. Manamorphose. Still surprised they pitched their route earlier. Pitches a Reckless Impulse, but why? Again, they must have a Past in Flames. That's the only explanation that I can think of. And I think at this point, we're just going to pause on until end step. There's no reason for me not to. Well, let's have you go off. Okay, so they do have the Past in Flames. At this point, I believe they have the win between rituals. Yeah, they should have it. Because at this point, all they need to do is now wish. Or not. There's a Grape Shot. Okay. So, we'll just call it there. You got it. Loss for game 1. Let's move to game 2. So we definitely want the Soulish Jailer. Remind me, power toughness of Ral. Ral Monsoon Mage is a 1/3. So Warping Well actually does have some relevance here. So we do want to cut the return. Let's see. Got the Gemstone. Got the Ghost Quarter. Cut Devourer Breaker. Both are 50-50 for all intent and purpose. I think we cut the breaker, then run it back. Maybe a thought to bring in a Dismember as well, but we'll run it like this. There's Warping Well, but we have no 7 mana value spells, the problem. Cannot keep this. We have the Jailer. This is keepable. We pitch what? A fetch. Done. We'll play Stomping Ground, Shock, Utopia Sprawl for red. Opponent's going down to 5 cards. And then next turn, what we'll do is we'll play Writhing Chrysalis into Jailer. So draw. Stomping Ground, Shock, Utopia Sprawl for red. And pass. And pass. Bloodstained Mire, passin', draw. Devour, you're just a wee bit late, friend. Trigger 1, always yield. Trigger 2, Jailer, pass. So now they need to deal with Jailer before they attempt to Impulse Draw. And we'll be able to start beating them in the face with this Writhing Chrysalis. What are we thinking about it? Arid Mesa fetch for a mountain. Could be a prismatic ending. Artist Talent's fine. Draw. K command. I mean, we can X equals 3 and hit you for a decent amount, theoretically. So I think I'll hold and attack with Writhing Chris. And on end step, we'll X equals 3. Unless they play a Ral, in which case then we'll deal with the Ral. Level 2. Put a pause on end step. And fetch. For a forest. Cast Kozilek's command. X equals 3. And done. Emrakul, Utopia Sprawl, we don't want... I mean, yes, Utopia Sprawl is mana neutral. You don't really want Emrakul right now. So I guess we can go top and top. And draw. For red. Unfortunately, it does mean that we can't hold up the Warping Wail, but I think that is fine given everything. Lethal is very much on board. And we'll pass. And pass. Let's say you, opponent, you deal with the Jailer. There's a ritual. Runs resolve. You can't play anything. I guess you can play the mountain for what it's worth. Paying cost for a Manamorphose. Double red. Best to keep a white source. Manamorphose. Double red. Oh, did you find a Prismatic Ending? Valakut Awakening. I mean, we have lethal on board, so moot point. Combat. For 12. And we got there. Alright. On to game 3. Yeah, Soulless Jailer is definitely a good card in this matchup. I do want Gemstone back in. Maybe we cut an Airghast. Let's see, we can keep and pass. We'll get Utopia Sprawl for red, and then unless we draw into a land, we'll go straight into Jailer. Opponent's down to 4 cards. In an ideal world, if we draw into a soul land, we'll be able to go Chrysalis into Jailer again, like we did last game. Elegant Parlor, Surveil Trigger. Keeps it on top. And draw. Warping Wail. Okay. Like I said, I do need a soul land, ideally. Red. And pass. Another Elegant Parlor. Sunbaked Canyon into yard. And draw. Temple. Perfect. Cast Temp. Trigger. Trigger 1. Trigger 2. It'll look rather familiar, opponent, and pass. And pass. And draw. Forest. I'm going to cast Malevolent Rumble. I'm going to grab a Talisman of Impulse. We played the Forest, right? Yeah. So we'll grab a Talisman of Impulse. I'm going to cast the Talisman of Impulse. Triggering the Writhing Chris. And go to combat. We'll hold up the Warping Wail. Opponent's down to 15. Fetch of Arid Mesa for an Elegant Parlor. Sacred Foundry Shock. Nope, tapped. Okay. Tis a land. Ruby Medallion resolves. Manamorphose resolves. Again, they have to deal with the Jailer, and thankfully, short of something at instant speed, we're good. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And pass. End step, we'll cast command, X equals 4. Land, fetch, down to 8. I think we have lethal on board then. Anamorphose, resolves. Ruby Medallion, last card. Put a pause on end step, and this should be lethal. We'll scry draw. Because we'll generate 4 spawns. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Alright, and we'll be back. We'll be back for match 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. I will keep, I will reveal, I will play, and I will exile the Devourer. And pass. Hallowed Fountain, tapped, and trigger. Let's go with Malevolent Rumble. Forest, Sprawl for red. Rumble for Mycospawn. And pass. And hold up the ability to respond. Next turn, I'm looking at Utopia Sprawl into Mycospawn. Mycospawn find Cavern would be ideal. Fetch. Watery Grave. Interesting. This could be Oculus or Ketrafrog. Looking more like Ketrafrog then. Okay. Ghost Court. We'll play Ghost Court. Utopia Sprawl. Green. I think for red again. Cast Sowing Mycospawn. So we could, theoretically, go for Sanctum Vugan. I think it is safer for us to go Cavernous Souls and name Eldrazi. At this point, we'll pass. And pass. I guess we should hold out the ability to respond, as Murktide oftentimes does run Bowmaster. Though given the white source, I imagine this is Ketrafrog, which does run Murktide. However, it's more centered around, well, Ketramos and Frog with Dark Blast. Sure enough, I think we do see Ketra. 1, 2, pitch a card, sure, float a frog. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. I'll take the 2. Trawler. Trawler's fine. I'll pass in full at this point. And draw. Another Sowing Myco. Only thing we need is 4 mana, right? So confirming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So cast Sowing Myco. We have double red here. I guess we should do it this way. Yeah, so go like this, because we have red anyways. We'll grab the Sanctum of Ugin. And then emerge, sacrificing the Sowing Mycospawn. So red, trigger. We'll exile our hand. It cannot be countered. Yes. There's an Emrakul. Yes. And what do we want to find? I'm thinking maybe a Devourer. Devourer would be good. Yeah, we'll grab a Devourer, I think. I think at that point, we'll simply pass. Because we're one short. Actually, no, we're what? Two short on the Emrakul? Or is an attack with the Sowing Mycospawn right now? The benefit also of Emrakul not being Overlord of the Bailmerk. What in the fresh what? There's the Ketramos, but this is not what I was expecting. Huh. Do they have a way to cheat the Overlord? I wonder if this might be like Esper Blink. Could be. There's Solitude. Exiles the Airgast. Well, that's just rude. Huh. So I may have misjudged what I was playing against. I guess so. Maybe splash blue for a frog, splash blue for consign. Would be my thought. Flip the frog. I have no qualms blocking the bog here. Draw a card. Interesting. Draw. Windswept Teeth. Fetch. For a Stomping Ground Shock. Sprawl. For green. One, two, three, 7. Exile the Froge. And pass. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. We are 3 short on the Emrakul then. Fascinating. Flickerwisp flickers the Overlord. Overlord will grab back. Oh, that's fine. Emperor Bones. Yeah, not all too perturbed by that. Could be a whole lot worse. Tempted to get rid of this Emperor Bones, though, I suppose. Let's move the combat. I will play Chrysalis. Currently we're at 5. 5 minus 3, or minus 2 would be 3, so not enough for command, but I guess we could, if they go for Emperor Bones and reach for the Solitude, I guess I could at least exile it. Yeah, so I think that is fine. Because if they do attack all out, then we should just have the win. So it depends on what they grab for with that Emperor Bones. If they grab for the Solitude, then we'll just exile it from underneath of them. Sewers is fine. What in the what? Huh. Okay. Weird. Yep, that's what I thought. Trigger 1. Always yield. Trigger 2. And I will draw, or not draw, ramp exile. Yes. X can't be 0. Okay, so we should be fine. I just want to make sure that we do have it targeted. Done. No legal targets. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A temple gets us an Emrakul. This could also get us an Emrakul. Let's Ghost Quarter Forest. Malevolent Rumble. Airghast. I mean, yeah. I'll grab the Airghast. We'll attack first. You have to block both. Paying cost. To adapt. Sure. I guess you block with the Sowing Myco spawn rather than the Emperor. Okay. You have to block the Writhing Chrysalis. They declared blockers. Sack 1. Sack 2. Lethal damage. Yep, they miscalculated. So this is Blink. We'll take the win for game 1. Interesting. Well, we got no consigned memories, so instead we got Dismembers and Kozilek's Return. We do not want Bog, because it turns on Ketramos. Ghost Quarters is okay, but not great. World Breaker again is okay. So if we run it like this. Yeah. Alright. Very interesting. So it is leaning more into like Ketra Frog for blue, but I imagine they have Consign for game 2 and game 3. I mean, at this point, if you're running blue, you should just be running Consign, right? So we'll have to be careful about going for Aragast. On the draw for game 2, I will keep finding a command off the top would be good. Finding a rumble off the top would be good. So, pretty happy with this. There is a thought to white. Aether Vial. Weird. Well, there's Aragast. Yeah, let's go Aragast. So we're going Rumble. So we're just going to go Stomping Grounds tapped in case they do play White Orchid Phantom. And pass. Tick up. Huh. Very interesting. Bog Shock, or Bolt rather. So no White Orchid Phantom onto White Black for Orchid. Not Orchid, Overlord. Grabs the Solitude, I imagine. No, grabs the Bog. Okay. Draw. Could command for one, but don't think that's relevant. At least not yet. Let's go with another Soin Mycospawn. And then pass. I mean, if we just chain Mycospawns, we'll be in a decent position. Damping Sphere is rude. We'll still be able to play a Mycospawn, just not kicked. And trigger. And draw. White Orchid Phantom? Well, that is a tad bit annoying, isn't it? Yeah, that's fine. Yes. For a forest. No. I want to play Utopia Sprawl for red. Play Lab. No imprint. And pass. And pass. The Night Veil still confuses me. That is strange. It's interesting, but strange. So they could Flicker Wisp and flicker the Overlord. Another Overlord. Imagine grabs the Flicker Wisp. Then Aether Vial. Bog tapped. Attack for 2. That is fine. I guess you could Flicker Wisp. No, I was about to say, you should probably Flicker Wisp the Overlord. What did you flicker? Oh, my freaking land with the Utopia Sprawl. Rude. Fetch for a Stomping Grounds shock. play Sowing Mycospawn. Grab a temple. And then pass. And hold up command. No, actually we can't, so we'll just pass. Huh. Very interesting. Frog. Aether Vial. For Ketra. Okay. Frog. Frog. Attack me for 5. Yes. No blocks. We can exile the Ketra with command. Overlords trigger. Draw. Another command. The major problem, of course, is this freaking frog. Like, the alternative is I could Airghast. Yeah, they can turn on Ketra, so I can't attack. We could Airghast, but then you can only block the flyers. Ketra gets turned on. So I think it's best that we exile Ketra. And done. I'll be able to pitch 2 cards, the frog, so 3, 6, 8. Yeah. And then we'll pass. We at least force them to float the frog. Hello, command X equals 1 if, in case it's relevant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They float the frog. No blocks. Pitch an Aether Vial. Okay. Not to mention they're going to have an Overlord on board as well. Down to 3. Draw a card. How do we proceed here? The Stamping Sphere actually is pretty problematic. White Orchid Phantom. Yeah, that's fine. And then Overlord of the Bailmerk triggers. We'll pass in full. Draw. Double command. We need to deal with Frog Flicker Wisp. I mean, I can actually Frog Flicker Wisp and White Orchid. Ugh. So I can K command and exile Frog. How much do we have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. Yeah, because we can get rid of Frog. I can get rid of Flicker Wisp. Yeah, the problem is If we go x equals 2 for 4, well, it's just a -2. So we currently have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. -2 would be 6. -1 would be 5. So we could Airghast. Actually, we could make it to where Frog isn't able to fly if we go x equals 5, right? Oh, but then Overlord is going to mill over is the problem. Huh. Yeah. So we need to get rid of Frog no matter what. How do we proceed here? We could dig deep with Command and go for a return. That might be the best choice. Oh, but the Frog is still an issue. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So x equals 5. I then could command for 4, or for 2. That'd have 6. It'd be a -2. Ugh, trying to think. Because, yeah, we have to deal Frog. Okay, let's do this. Let's start here. This is a bit of a frustrating way to have to deal with this. X equals 5. Okay, we found the K return. So bottom, 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 top, and draw. We then have 6. No attacks. We use 6 -2 -3 is 3. Yes. So then I can K command. Is there any reason to do it now or wait until combat? We can probably wait. They draw. Not K return. So yes, I think I need to simply do this now. Should leave me with just enough. Also, for some reason I thought we were in combat. Go to combat. Overload the Bailmerk. There's Felia. What do they grab? I'm actually not sure. It's a blocks. And pass. Okay, as long as they don't interact with the stomping ground, we're fine. Trawler, okay. Talisman of Impulse. So, Airgast. Sacrifice. Oh, we messed up. I didn't realize that the return was gone. Shoot. Doesn't matter. There's Dismember, but it's not going to be enough. Alright, yeah, you got it. Yeah, the bog threw me off. I was like, okay, I can still return and then clear board, but because of the bog, they got rid of return. Yeah, rough. Damn. I don't think I had an out then, no. Weird, weird game. I also still am not sure if I need to play around like consigns or not because of blue. Very strange. Also wondering if maybe the World Breaker, like a one-of, is not a bad idea for the Dampening Sphere. On the play for game 3, I will mulligan. I will keep. I'll pitch the K return. We're looking for a soul land. Done. Sprawl for red. Yeah, we're looking just for the right line. We missed it because of the bog. Smart heads up play on their part. Honorary Grave Shock for file. Okay. Draw. Sprawl. Rumble. I want the temple, that's a bit concerning. We could instead go catacombs. And it might not be a bad idea. They don't have white. Okay, actually we'll go temple. Because they don't have double white right now. We'll pass. If we draw into a land we can kick. Otherwise we could just hold up the command. There's their white source. There's an overlord. At this point we'll pass. There's a white orchid phantom. They'll be able to play the white orchid phantom regardless because of the Aether Vial. We could Writhing Chrysalis. Otherwise we can Sowing Mycospawn and then hold up command, question mark. The alternative is that we can go command X equals 3. Rough. So it might be right to simply hold up the command then. We'll pass. We'll take up. The thing is, they're gonna wait until our upkeep, aren't they? That's right. That'd make the most sense with White Orchid since the land comes into play tapped, which is quite annoying. Really, they have no play, so this tells me they have a Thalia in hand. I'm going to cast Scrydraw. Bottom. top, then draw. So 6. And pass. Aether Vial. I'll snap in White Orchid. Got nothing. Forest. Oh, I didn't want to do that. 6, 7, 8, 8, 11. We're short 1. For red. Writhing Chris. Alright, so we should have the Emrakul next turn. We also do have the ability to block the White Orchid Phantom thanks to Writhing Chrysalis. Blood Strand fetch. One possible outcome, however, is that they might just play another Bog. Flicker Wisp flickers the Overlord? That's fine. Sneaky Reach? Oh. That adds a type to Yard. Aether Vial. Another Flicker Wisp. Rude. And draw. So 7, 8, 9, 13. Cavern of Souls. Name Eldrazi. So let's be smart here. We need to go 6, so 3. 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. 14 minus 2 is 12, so not an option. So yes, we need to sack 3, sack 1. Always yield. 2, 3. Do you have Solitude is the question. Alright, our turn, comrade. You have Psychic Frog, Predator, Soul... What the fresh... What? Soul Flare. Yes, the 4. There's Ketra. So we could play Frog and pitch their entire hand, basically. That is a thought. Go to main. I'm going to play the Frog, then. And we're going to pitch. What in the world is Soul Flare doing here? Activate. 1, 2, 3. Trigger. Activate. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And one more time. Go to combat. Attack with both Flicker Wisps. And then pass. We'll pass. Trigger on the stack. And pass. Alright. Comes down to this then. That's now on board. I will play Malevolent Rumble. Trigger. Play a lab. Trigger. Play Writhing Chrysalis. Go to combat. You're gonna have to block both, I do believe. Down to 1. I'm more than happy to block with Writhing Chrysalis at this point. And your main out now is a Solitude, I believe. Because you can float the frog. Attack with Overlord. Keep the frog back. Trigger. And that looks like you have nothing. You can grab the Flicker Wisp for what it's worth. I guess you can flicker my Writhing Chrysalis. But what then? Grabs Flicker Wisp. Go to blocks. All block. Trigger 1. Stacks. Trigger 2. Stacks. Trigger 3. Stacks. Overlord down. You know you have the Flicker Wisp. You can flicker a Chrysalis for what it's worth, but all I need to do is get 1 damage in. At this point, we'll pass in full. That's fine. To combat. And we got there. Okay. A bit of a strange one, but an interesting direction for Blink to go in. Strange, though, that we didn't see any Consigned to Memories, though. So I'm not sure if this is a well-refined list or not. But it definitely is interesting. I mean, I think it could make sense with Catcher Frog. We didn't see also any Relic of Progenitus. Yeah, it feels like maybe this list doesn't know exactly what direction it wants to go in, but hard for me to say. But could be interesting. That said, we'll be back for match 4. All right, and we're back for match 4 on the play for game 1. I will keep. I'll play Verdant Catacombs and pass. Put a pause on end step. Shock Breeding Pool. Utopia Sprawl. So it looks like this could be a mirror match, but they're on Teamer. Verdant Catacombs, fetch for Commercial District. Trigger. Ergast to top. Ugin Lab. Imprint. cast Rumble for sowing Mycospawn. And pass. And pass. Best case scenario is we draw into a temple next turn. Could just play K command X1, smart. Draw, land, perfect. Do I need to question mark? I need another red source regardless. The answer is no. So sowing Mycospawn. And yeah, we need a red source, so I need a stomping ground. Tapped and pass. Alright, as long as this sowing Mycospawn, as long as we have 4 mana, and the sowing Mycospawn sticks, we're okay. But if they have a kicked Mycospawn, imagine they go after the Ugin Lab. Oh, it looks like it's a kicked Myco. Rip. Goes after the lab, I'd imagine. What do you grab for your land, though? If you're smart, you'll go for Bog. You do not. So we need a land off top. That'd be enough? No. We'll be short. So I need a soul land off top. Malevolent Rumble. Grabs the Mycospawn. Oof. Yeah, now if I had tucked, we actually would have been fine, ironically. But now we're in trouble. I'll pass. I guess maybe it might be right just to do this real quick and then pass. If they're smart, they'll go after my color sources. What they'll also do is end up Bajuka bogging me. If they do that, I think it's pretty much GG's. Yeah, that K command for 1 was a smart heads-up play, so good on them for thinking that through. Not everyone does. So this now takes me out of Airghast, which is a problem. No point in blocking here. Oh, and the Bajuka Bog? Yeah, that's pretty much a GG's, I think. But let's not count ourselves out yet. And pass. I mean, if they run out of steam here, and we draw into a land, we might be okay. I'll take it. What you got? That looks like an Emrakul if I've ever seen one. Do you clear the board? I'd imagine you won't, but you will attack into the sowing Mycospawn. I think we just concede. Before we show you Airghast. Yeah, I think that's right. That way they don't know what version we're on. So bring in the Stone Rain. cut the returns. Not much else to bring in. We could bring in Stonebrain theoretically, but I generally think it's a bad card in the matchup, especially if they're on Karn. Yeah, we'll just run it back like this. I'm not a fan of Stone Rain, but on the play it's not bad. On the draw it's okay. Better than the returns at least. On the play. We have 13 hits, I'll keep. A green source gets us into Rumble. A command allows us to dig for a green source. So we have options. Play Temple, Pass, and Pass. Forest. Why snow covered? Interesting. Okay. That will work for next turn. And pass. And pass. Next turn we'll Rumble. Temple and passing. Draw. Emrakul. Okay. Starting to look promising again. We'll grab Verdant Cat. I'll play Verdant Cat. Fetch. Forest Stomping Grounds. Shock. For another Rumble. Grab a Sowing Mycospawn. And pass. Okay, that's fine. Do you have a kicked Mycospawn is the question. Ghost Quarter, that's okay. Yes. For Forest. And this is a turn for Emrakul, if I'm not mistaken. Paying cost for smart play. Draw. For red. Sowing Mycospawn, cast. Green. 1, 2. Keep the red. And then Eldrazi Temp. Emerge. Sacrifice Sowing Mycospawn. I'll not. No. And emerge for free. Our turn, comrade. Let's see, we can Rumble, choose nothing. Yeah, opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Well, the surprise is now over. I know that we're on Aragast. We'll run it back as is. On the draw for game 3. I can keep this. Keep. Pass. Draw. Stone Rain. Pass. Pause on end step. Put a pause on end step. Genuinely became a little bit concerned they were going to try and Ghost Quarter my godforsaken, whatchamacallit, my fetch. To yard. Lab. Imprint. Emrakul. As much as I don't want to, I think this is correct. And pass. And pass. Stone Rain. Rude. And I did just do it to you, but still. Imprint. What? Oh, I was like, what is happening here? Rumble. We'll go for a forest. And pass. And pass. If you have, I was about to say, if you have a soul land and a kicked Mycospawn, I think this is over, but looks like you don't. Not yet, at least. So in Mycospawn, Bajuka Bog, potentially. Wooded Foothills, weird. Draw. We haven't used our Ghost Quarter yet. Stomping Ground, Shock. I have 4. Let's go Forest. Excuse me. That Stone Rain really threw me off. Fetch. Do you have a consigned memory? Shock. No shot. You do. I mean, yeah, it worked well. I just wholeheartedly disagree with using both Consign and Stone Rain. That feels all sorts of wrong to me. Okay, well, can't say much about that. Do you have a play? Oh, that's scary. I think you might have it from that. Oh, okay, Chrysalis is fine. Interesting. Stone Rain and Consign. Chrysalis. Of my own. You really have another Consign? If you do, that is big trouble. Wow. Yeah. That's brutal. I'll go Misty Rain and I'll pass. Put a pause on end step. Wild. Paying cost for an ancient Finds the wooded foothill. Plays the wooded foothill. Attacks in. No blocks. And fetch. Stomping Grounds, tapped. And draw. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're one short currently. I'll grab the temple then. No shot. You seriously have the third consign? Or is this a command? If it's a command, then fine. Well, not fine. That would be pretty bad, too. Like, you should just float if that's the case. Why this now? Oh, you've got to be joking me. But also, why replicate that much? Confusion? I'm confused. Sure. What in the fresh hell? 3 consigns in a stone rain. Absolutely absurd. Alright. Well, we'll pass. Fetch the wooded foothill for surveil land. Yep. How do you want to proceed here? I have to block you. If you have a command, I lose. What else you got, opponent? You've already stone rained me once. I don't think you kicked the Micah spawn at least. Well, I'll take it. Jugabog, target you. And then hold up the K command. You have a K command of your own. Or is opponent just tinking? What else could you have just sitting in your hand that you couldn't have played last turn is the problem. I mean, methinks it has to be a K command or a consign. If it's a K command, they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 8 total, triggering the Sanctum. At which point, then they can get Emrakul off of Sanctum and cast it. But I feel like alternatively, they could have just done that last turn and grabbed a World Breaker, another Sowing Micah Spawn, and gotten rid of my lab. So I feel like they had better options, which would have applied more pressure. Whereas I do have a snowball's chance in hell of recovering here. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so they do have the command. Oof. Well, that sure is a problem. Interesting. Do they grab the Emrakul as I expect? Sowing Mycospawn. Okay. So they strip out as many types out of my yard as possible, I suppose. A bit of a weird choice when they could have just grabbed Emrakul, right? Because X equals 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess they would have been one short if I would have had a command of my own, was the thought. I'm going to combat. X equals 4. Stone Rain, Rumble, Emrakul. So if I... No, so we want a bottom... Bottom... Top and top. Go to blocks, block you, and then pass. Down to 2. You'll kick a Mycospawn, I suppose. Hitting the Aragast. If you don't do that, then we could have a shot here. It's also possible they might just go for a Bojuka Bog, but I feel like that invalidates their play. Also, why ping yourself when you have another untapped land? Because it's mana neutral, so if you're going to tap out anyways, which they're not. Grab an Ugin's Lab. Grabs an Ugin's Lab. No imprint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they still have enough for the kick to Myco. Do they Bojuka Bog me, or what do they do? Excuse me. I think Bojuka Bog is correct. For what it's worth. There's the Bojuka Bog. Yep. Draw. Malevolent Rumble. There's another Aragast. We can't really make use of that, though. So I think we have to go with a Writhing Chrysalis. Play Writhing Chrysalis. Triggers and pass. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 5 is 13, but we'll have to block. Depends on how they attack here. Rumble. No Stone Rain, finds a Chrysalis. Yep. So we'll cast the Chrysalis. If they just attack the Chrysalis, then we'll bring in the Emrakul. But is actually that enough? No, it isn't. Because 3, 6, 7, 8, 13, sure. But then what? Yeah, it's a bit complicated. Yeah, attacking all in is correct. So go to blocks. Block. Block. and block. And then sacrifice, trigger. Always yield. Sacrifice, trigger, always yield. Okay. It's a bit aggressive on their part, but I'm fine with it. Devourer. 5, 6, 7 gives me 3 blockers. Yeah, so we could block Writhing Crystals with this. Yes, so this is fine. And then pass. You have to be a bit careful now of going all out. Because if they don't, then we could win this. Lab, no imprint. Yeah, if you attack with all 3, we win out completely. It's gonna come down to the top decks now. You have the Emrakul. Just need to get there. 3, 6, 9. We're 4 short. Like I said, if you attack, the only thing you really, that just is not the right move. Go to blocks, block, block, and block. We sack, we trigger, and we pass. Why do this? Talisman of Impulse. And at this point, we pass. You can pump that up to 8. So yeah, we have to keep back our double blockers. Oh god, what you find? Rumble, that's not great. Finds the Emrakul, and you should have enough to cast it too. Yeah. Do I have an out here? I don't think so. At least not a good one. Because they'll slam both my Chrysalis and my Devourer into their Chrysalis and Emrakul. Why? Why do this? I mean, I guess you can pump it to 9, but even then, or I guess 10, but even then, yeah, why do that? I don't understand. There's attacking haphazardly. Like, yes, now you slam my Chrysalis into your Emrakul, but you could have had both. Whereas now, like, there is a theoretical world where maybe I get there. Utopia Sprawls, nothing. For a second, I thought I was at 1 life. Oh, that's actually cute. I forgot about that. I feel like I could have done that on a few occasions, and I haven't. Oh, that's cute. Attack of the Chrysalis. Into the Emrakul. So how could we win is the question. Is there a line? Nope. There is not. You got it, opponent. That was a close one. Alright. Well, we'll be back for match 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. We'll mulligan this. Oh, it's not much better. Jesus. I'll never get used to it. People recognizing me, whether it be on Moto or in person. I'm going to say it every time it happens, without fail. But I do appreciate it. So if you do end up watching this video, hello, Kaislex? Kaislex. I want to say I said that right. Kaislex. But hello. Appreciate you for watching my videos. We can keep this, pitch the K return, and I think the Emrakul. We'll go Misty Rainforest pass, put a pause on end step. But pause. Triome. Could be Zoo. We'll go Commercial District, trigger. Talisman's tempting, but I think we put it into Yard, question mark? And draw. Command. Cast Rumble. Looking for a soul land. There's the temple. So they'll know that we're on Aragast and Gruul. We'll pass. And put a pause. Oh, not pause, but we'll hold up the delay to respond on the off chance they have something. What are we playing against is the question of the day. Flooded Strand, fetch. I do wonder if maybe I should have kept the Talisman. Steam Vent Shock. Still feels like Zoo. I mean, that is Kavu mana. Could also be Draco. I mean, if they play either, we definitely kick the Triome. There's Kavu. Okay, so we were correct. We'll pass. Thankfully, Kavu will shrink. A second command. The question is now, do we go red source or do we go a temple? I think we go Stomping Grounds tapped. At the same time, we have 2 commands. And again, just because... Let's go Temple. I think we just end up hard casting Aragast at this point, honestly. Or 1 Temple off, right? And pass. Otherwise, we'll be able to do it after we cast Command next turn. We can cast any 7 mana value spell. Funny enough, there is a world where I might consider cycling the command, because that push it up to 6, and if we draw into an Emrakul, we could cast Emrakul next turn. Interesting. I think, let's see. I guess you could exile a card from Yard and shrink the number a bit. I guess whether it be Airgas, Talisman, or Rumble. If you do that, if you shrink it by taking Airgas, you don't. That's fine then. Stubborn Denial into Yard. I mean, I'm tempted to block to force you to grab a Triumph. At the same time, I'm going to say no. I'll take the 2. Unless you fetch, push up to 5. That means you have to grab a Triumph, which is okay. Up to 4. Okay. Maybe for a second Kavu. No Kavu. I'm going to cast Command Scry Draw. See what I can find here. Do you have another Stubborn Denial? It'd be like that. Well, opponent, let's see if you have a Leyline Binding. Our turn, comrade. Paying cost. For main deck consigned to memory. What the fresh hell, opponent? So that tells me they have Flage and potentially even Null Drifter. Not blocking, so it is what it is. I could Airgas next turn. It's a thought. Let's see. X4, 2, leaves 2, 1. Yeah, we could go Command X4, Talisman, Airgast. Which is a thought. XL the Kavu, down to 8, up to 5. Kavu. A dashed Ragavan. Well, that's just rude. 7. Exiles the command. That's fine. Talisman of Impulse. Monkey back. So let's start by attempting to exile the Kavu. X4. Do you have another consign? You do not. Talisman of Impulse. For red. I could attack here first. Let's do that. Sorry if you have another consign. Do you have it, opponent? I will exile my empty hand. And I'll play Stomping Grounds tapped and pass. You have a Leyline Binding. Bolt. Oh god. Do you have Tribal Flames? go. Alright. So that's Zoo. Lost for game 1. Yeah, main deck consign was brutal. Let's see here. What do we want for this matchup? It might just be Dismember's Return. Cut, Gemstone, Ghost Quarter. We do want Bog. We do want World Breaker. Devour is kind of eh. Might drop an Urgast though. And I'll drop an Airgast. Run it back like this. I'll have to drop one more card for the Gemstone if we make it to game 3 though. Yeesh. On a play for game 2. I will keep. Leyline to Guild Pact. Stomping Ground, Shock, Utopia Sprawl, 4 red. And pass. And pass. Flooded Strand, pass, draw, Temple. Command X2 seems appealing here, so I'll hold. Continue to hold. Worst thing they could play here next turn would be a Sign of Draco. Flooded Strand and holding, likely a Consign in hand if I had to bet. Let's get it out of the hand if that's the case. Return Catacombs. Bottom, top draw, and draw. And it's probably good to fetch now. Up to 3 types in yard. For a forest. Sprawl. For red. For talisman. And talisman. And hold. So we have command X equals 3 now. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we do have Emrakul for what it's worth. The thing is, I'm still convinced they either have a Consign or a Leyline Binding just sitting in their hand. I think we just hold. We'll pass. And try and use this K command as a permission spell. My opponent's scaring me is what they're doing. Bowmaster targets. Target me. That's fine. I mean, I'll probably still scry draw next turn. Well, I guess I could K return first. Definitely gonna K return now. Go to blocks. Block 1, block 2. 1, 2, 3. Go to end step. No. If they have Silent Draco, then Stubborn Denial will just counter it. Regardless, X equals 5. Show me the consign. Really? Top. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 16, 16, 18. Top. Right now, I think bottom, top, and top. Draw. Play the temple. I'm not confident that this is resolving. Probably should have put the K command in front of the Rumble in retrospect. Yeah, I didn't think so. You can counter 2 things, but not all 3. I mean, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so yes. Get Draco off board. It's a bit extreme, but it will do. I think we have another Emrakul set up. So they'll need another consign. Wear Tear, rude, but it actually adds types to yard. And draw. So 2, 6, 7. Our turn, comrade. Do you have another consign? One's gonna scoop. We'll take the win. On to game 3. Bring back in Gemstone and cut what? Chrysalis is good here. The returns are solid. Maybe a Devourer. Just because if the Scion of Draco's on board, we're in trouble. We haven't seen Flage, but I can only imagine that it's there. Yeah, run it like this. We have the Gemstone. We have a Wooded Foothills. This is solid. Question of the day is, do we give up a Dismember? I'll keep Gemstone. I think we do. And pass. Ragavan be my guess. Sure enough, yeah, that's why I kind of was hoping to hold on to that Dismember, but... Okay, return's nice. Fetch for a forest. Utopia Sprawl. I'm a dumb as bricks. I double clicked when I shouldn't have. That's gonna cost me. Damn it. Yeah, double click there. Normally I press W, right? Forest, okay, not the end of the world, but would have liked that. Oof. That hurts. Draco, not the end of the world. Draw. Rumble. Rumble, looking for a lab. No lab, grab a Chrysalis. Rumble. There's a temple. And pass. 4 cards in yard. And pass. I have options here. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it would have been a lot better had we had been able to block, I think. I'll say that first rumble would have been less than ideal. We would have grabbed the forest, I suppose. Arena of Glory is a bit scary. Okay, well, that's going to be a Charmal. I can feel it now. Oh, Sign of Draco. Not great, but tolerable. That's 10 damage. I get 2 bodies on board next turn if I don't block. One of them if reach. I think we do block, though. As much as I don't want to, I think it's correct. Ugin Lab. Okay, that changes things. Tuck the Emrakul. So we can start with Writhing Chrysalis. And then cast Sowing Mycospawn. Unfortunately not kicked. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. At this point, we'll pass in full. The problem is if they have a Tribal Flames, we lose on the spot. Oh, you gotta be joking me. Go to blocks. Yeah, we should have 2 more life for all intent and purpose, but we're not going to. Tribal Flames for the win. Holding my breath here, opponent. Yeah, I'd be at 7 otherwise if I didn't double click. Like, it wouldn't have been a good Malevolent Rumble, but it would have been better than what we ended up doing. Kind of defeated the entire purpose of us playing the Gemstone Cavern. So they must not have it. Because if they did, then they just play it, right? Fetch Arid Mesa. Plain Swamp Forest. Island Mountain. Yeah, they have the 5. So that's not the issue. So what is? Plains. Bowmaster, target Writhing Chris? Yes, that is an issue. Draw. Stomping Ground. Tapped. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we do have it next turn. Yikes. Next problem, of course, is if they have some way to counter this. Stubborn Denial will get them there. Should probably wait until combat so they don't dash a Ragavan or haste something else, I suppose. Again, Tribal Flames kills me on the spot. The combat. Attacking. K return. Do you have the Stubborn Denial? Or a Consign? Damn. You got it. It's possible that the Malevolent Rumble wouldn't have mattered in the end. However, it definitely was impactful, as it did delay me quite significantly. Yeah, that's purely on me. I double-clicked when I meant to single-click, and because of it, it targeted and tapped rather than just target and then went to tap the gemstone, which we would have been able to rumble. We would have grabbed the forest. We then would have blocked the Ragavan, which would have been somewhat relevant, question mark. Yeah. Hard to say what it would have looked like in that case, but it is what it is. Sometimes mistakes like that do happen, and we have to move on from them. At the end of the day, though, I still can't complain at the results of today's league. Obviously a bit disappointed about that last game, but we still ended 3-2 at the end of 5, which is certainly a respectable result. So I'll walk away happy in that regard at the very least. With that being said, as always, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or some general feedback. It would be much appreciated. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and failure, I hope I can learn from you all as well. At the end of the day, I may not be the best player, but I'm certainly aiming to grow. Last but not least, if you haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. With that being said, folks, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye!